Welcome back. Man, it's been a while. What have you been doing, Dennis? It's been at least a month.
Ooh, well, let's see. A whole lot of nothing. I was back on the East Coast last week or the weekend before,
Yeah.
doing a seminar back there and visited Philly and my favorite place, New Jersey.
Yes, yes. Did you get to run to the stop at the top of the steps with Rocky and all that while you were in Philly?
Uh, no, but I did go to the land of the zombies. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah, so it's an area called Kensington.
Oh,
You hear that?
I've heard of Kensington.
Yeah, well, it's totally overrun with heroin addict and crackheads, and they're literally they're like it's like watching a zombie movie. So
Oh,
they're standing everywhere, bent over, just swaying back and forth, and
ah.
it was so surreal. I was just like, oh my gosh, wow.
I know what you're talking about. I was in Portland. I actually took some pictures. Okay, so first of all, I'm not as weird. Well, maybe. Anyway, um, I saw this homeless guy, and I saw he had like his pants pulled down, but he had his boxers up. It looked like they were just hanging down, but he was bent over, and I thought he was throwing up. And I saw tons of like yogurt containers around him, and he was just like, just stayed like that. And
Yep.
I just bought some ginger, and I was thinking maybe I should offer him some ginger, you know. And, and then I go, no. Then I realized he was just moving really weird, and
Hmm.
he wanted to stay in that bent over position, and I thought, well, I don't know. So the next morning I'm checking out of the hotel in Portland. It's super early, dark, and I look down the road and there's fog, and I see this bent over character, same guy, totally different block and everything, and he's just bent over in the same position, and he looked like a zombie. I have a
Yep.
picture of it. I mean, he looked like he was all bent up and twisted and
Oh yeah,
about to
there are
start.
hundreds of these people.
Did you chat?
No.
Be nice to try to, give them some edification, but you have to be able to get through to the mind.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah.
Uh, I just got back from Utah. Yeah. That was my next stop, and that was a lovely visit. Got down into the 30s, which was nice in the morning, and we stayed it was a ski lodge place, but it was a conference for the
Mm,
IT people from the different areas of our church, and like the universities and all the
mhm.
various people. So, but Jenny got to come along with me, and that was all fun. And but anyway, yeah, not it's really crazy the difference when you look at somebody and go, "Huh, I wonder if that guy's homeless."
Mm.
Because usually you can tell, right? Like you said in Kensington, there's probably no doubt.
Oh yeah.
I looked over and saw a couple of guys sitting there that looked a little scruffy, and I thought that might be the version of the the homeless guy here
Mm,
in Utah because it they didn't look like as drugged out. They just looked kind of,
mm.
I mean, like they'd gone around a few times.
Yeah.
And there was almost none of it in Park City, Utah. It's just beautiful mountains and changing trees, changing color and all that. But so how did the seminar go? Did you get anything across to anybody? Yeah, that's always.
It was pretty, it was very interesting. There were a couple of moments there where I would ask a question and it was just like deers in the headlight. I was just like, huh, okay, all right. Well, I guess I won't teach what I was going to do. Let's start from scratch.
How many times have we done that? You always teach the same thing. Okay, show me what you can do. Okay, we'll be starting with the same thing. Uh, but so, and not everybody is using the same terminology. That's the other thing.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not even so much that is just there's such a difference in what they've been taught and who they've been trained by. And I don't know. I mean, on what they already knew, they were good at. There's
Hmm.
no question about that. Um, but on what I was trying to get across,
Yeah.
it was like another language.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but it's okay. I mean, not everybody, you know.
Were you speaking English?
Yeah, well, it
Okay.
took a while. It was really amazing too, because one of the things I was doing that I ended up doing, not wanting to do initially, there was a guy who'd been doing Aikido for 20 years, and
Hmm.
he didn't know it. He did this lock I was doing, and I'm just like, huh. Like, you know this. You've done Aikido. Yeah, it's okay. But yeah,
Hmm.
it was intellectually challenging, but
Just
it
makes
was
you
okay. It
better.
was good. It was good. I mean, I did enjoy myself. They had a good time.
That's yeah. That's
Uh, you know, Jim McCann was good.
nice.
I like listening to him. Um, his son is going for some type of national boxing championship. So
Wow.
yeah.
I'll
So
have to catch up with Jim. I haven't spoken to him for a while.
yeah. Of course, there's well, Mickey Thornton.
You make them what?
Yeah, he was a good. He's you know what? It's so different when he's home.
Yes.
It's
It-
pretty interesting though.
Yep.
Of course, his
Yep.
his uh his wife is awesome, and his daughter was cool.
That's
Um,
great.
let's see who else was there. Of course, we know Dieter was there.
Yeah.
Scott, you know.
Yep. Oh, Scott was there.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's always good to
Scott.
have those,
It's always good to
have
have
those
Scott.
guys
Yeah.
around. It's
Dieter.
pretty good. Did
Dieter
you know
just had
that
a birthday.
Dieter tore his bicep?
No.
Oh, he didn't send you that picture?
No.
Oh my gosh, you should see his arm.
He doesn't want to make me jealous.
Oh, it is so bad. It just his bicep disconnected.
Oh. All right. I'm done with injuries.
Yeah.
Starting today.
Uh, crazy stuff, man.
Yeah, well, at least I think as long as they learn something and you guys enjoy yourselves, that's brotherhood,
Oh yeah,
fellowship.
they got a lot.
I think that's what you can. I mean, you're never gonna come out of an event and remember everything and be able to do
I beg
everything.
to differ.
Well, I mean, I'm not talking about you. I mean, the
Well, I,
normal
I I take
man.
that back. I take it back. I don't remember everything. I remember everything else.
Yes,
Yes.
right. Everything outside of that.
Right.
Well, good. Well, I've been looking forward to this show for a
A
while.
long time.
We have
Yeah.
two guys that have I don't know they may not have much to say being from Ireland, uh,
Right.
but these guys are longtime friends and brothers of the Wednesday night group, and Patrick Cunningham and Johnny Mack, who we've had on before, we have as guests together today as a
Because
Irish
how can you
team.
not?
If they can come on together. So, gentlemen, welcome to the show. Go ahead and turn your cameras on for the YouTube crowd.
You'd have to stick my camera on, Jeremy.
I'll do it for you. That's okay. We'll cut this out. Nobody will know. Uh, and go ahead, Johnny.
When I put my glasses on, my glasses are fogging up.
Hey.
And Patrick's here.
Hey.
Me. Morning, Dennis. Been a
Howdy,
while.
good morning.
How you guys doing?
So, where are you both right now?
I'm in Ireland.
You're in Ireland. Johnny?
I'm in English country. I'm in
English
England,
country.
London. But I'm taking over England with Irish pubs. That's my mission.
All right.
Yeah.
Good luck to you.
Yes, he's still. So the good thing is they're still basically in the same time zone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Johnny says, "Oh, it's so early. It's 8 o'clock." Dennis and I were like, "Well, it's midnight here." At least we have
I wish it was midnight because I love another 3 hours kept the day I had yesterday.
I mean, it is easier to stay up than it is to get up, I guess. But except for Patrick, I just
That's what you
sent
said last night.
Well,
I knew that was
I was
coming.
waiting for that. Patrick, I got to say, I sent the message out 4 hours ago, and he responds within like a few minutes. Okay, see you. He's out having his tea by the pond and talking to the fish. I don't know what we do.
Early bird catches the worm.
Well, Patrick, tell us a little something about yourself. So what is it? What is it you're doing right now? I mean, and then we'll get back into your what
When
are you
I
doing there?
when
in
I
Ireland?
I came back here in 24, March of 24. We came back to Ireland, myself and my wife. We had the house here already. So we said, let's go give it a try. And we said, let's give it a try. But got a one-way ticket and came back here. A friend of mine buys machinery in England and sends them to America. So I was driving back and forth to England for him. And got fed up with that real quick. I didn't leave America to spend all my time in England. So started, I'm going back to when I was young, I started my apprenticeship as a cabinet maker. And that's what I done in America for a lot of years. So I'm starting up a cabinet shop again.
Oh, cool.
That's the short version.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's it.
Nice.
Well,
So-
since our number one connection here is, besides just being great friends, is Bruce Lee and JKD, Jeet Kune Do. Give us a little overview of your life. What got you into JKD and then into our group?
Yeah, I had been training Taekwondo for a lot of years, and then I met Vince Raimondi. My kids actually started taking class with Vince Raimondi, and then I started training with him. And one day he said, "Yeah, we're having a JKD seminar, and Ted Wong is coming." And you know, I'm like, "Ted Wong, JKD." He goes, "Yeah, Bruce Lee." I'm like, "Oh, okay. I thought he was a movie guy, you know." And he goes, "No, Vince, no."
Yeah. No.
Bloody him.
Oh.
So went to that seminar, and I was hooked, after watching Ted Wong footwork and watching him move, and he was such a great guy to listen to, like all of you guys. So started training with him, and then then it was Vegas, go to Vegas, and then we met you guys and Tim Tackett, and Vince said, "Watch this guy. Wait till you see Tackett. He doesn't sit down. He doesn't stop." So that was the year that we went upstairs. They had the big seminar, and there was a lot of talking going on, and we went upstairs into this room, and it was like this mystery room. There was all these guys knocking lumps out of each other, and that's when we met you guys, and it was like, wow, this is okay. Yeah, this is cool, So that was really how I got started in JKD. Yeah, and then trained with Vince for a lot of years, and to go back to something we mentioned, the people say, "Oh, what are we going to learn? What are we going to do new? What we're going to learn anything new?" Like, I'd say if I went back to train with Vince this morning, we'd be working on the street lead.
Yeah.
The same as I did the first day I met him. So that was it. Yeah. And then of course got to go to Redlands and train with you guys there, and Tackett's Garage, which is of course no more, unfortunately. Yeah, that was an awesome experience, and met great guys. Just met a lot of super guys.
Yeah.
Of course we had that seminar up in the mountains, the first one up in the hills there.
Oh yeah.
That was memorable. Apart from the fact that somebody took me out and got me drunk.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
I wonder who that was.
I had to get up in the morning and show up for the seminar, and said guy didn't show up till 1 o'clock in the afternoon,
No, not true.
all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
It's a very Celtic sounding place, that mountain area. Do you remember what it was called? It's Loch Leven
Yep.
campgrounds.
Was that what it was? Yeah.
Loch Leven, yeah.
Loch
And,
Leven.
So it was a cool spot to work out. and
Yeah,
train.
Johnny, I honestly think that we should try something like this. I guess a lot of them before I came around that Dennis was part of, and Dan and Asante, they used to do a lot of stuff in the mountains and things,
Yep.
right? And I would like to see that again. But it was funny because I remember Patrick, he'd see, I was teaching some kicking drills and things like that, and so he comes up, and we had never met before, but we were kind of hitting it off, and he says, with a twinkle in his eye, he says, I hear you don't drink. And I said, no, I don't. And he says, oh, what they call that in Ireland? He says, a man that likes women more than he likes drink. And I said, what's that? He says, a homosexual.
That's a Neil Tobin joke, that is.
Was it?
That's right.
A man that fancies women more than the drink.
That was
Was
when
it?
I met you first, Jeremy.
Yeah.
And I remember we were out by the tennis court, and Tackett's walking up and down, scratching his head, and he goes, "Pat, hold the shield," and
Yeah.
Jeremy starts doing side kicks on the shield, and he's lifting me off the ground and sending me back 3 foot. I'm landing 3 foot. I'm like, wow, I'm flying. I'm like, damn. And then Tackett goes, after taking about 10 of these, and every bone in my body was rattled, Tackett goes, "Now, put a whip in it, Jeremy."
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that great? And I remember I love to think of those days when I could do that. It's like, yeah, it's like he says, or we would do oh, kick this guy, and then he'd come back and go, okay, now do it hard. And I'm like, okay, I thought I was.
Yeah, the guy holding the shield just says, "What?"
What? Exactly.
Yeah. Met Lloyd. That was the first time I met Lloyd. Oh no, sorry, I did. Louis. We met Louis in Vegas. Louis still training?
Well, we just did a podcast with him a couple of weeks ago, and he only teaches. I mean, he trains with his son, and he trains on his own, but he's not teaching currently.
Yeah.
When his son is in town. But we had if you haven't heard that podcast, go back and listen to it, because we actually Dennis and Louis they had a lot of great things to talk about sports health and recovery. I was listening because I listened to it with all the podcasts with my wife when we're heading to the gym and back, and it was really good information in that about healing, about getting back to a lot of what you've lost. But a little plug for that one. But Louis, yeah, he's in Idaho, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Johnny, when is it that you first came to one of our events? So,
Oh God, with Dieter in Belgium, was it no in Sicily?
Oh, Sicily was your first one?
That's right.
Yeah, I don't. When Tackett was there, do you remember? There's a funny video going around where Tim is signing a load of DVDs and I'm doing a silly Irish dance behind him. and Lack says if Tim had seen you doing that, he says he would have given you a straight lead into the jaw. But that seminar was mad. It was like a scene out of Rocky. You and Dieter had all of us giving each other a jockey back. There's my train going by. A jockey back up and down the beach. I never forget it.
That's right.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Of course, Jeremy had an injury and he couldn't do anything that day. It was mysteriously, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm gonna carry you guys on my back around the beach.
And then wait till you hear this, Pat. We went to this Italian restaurant, right? And they're putting on pizzas and wine and the whole lot. And I come back and I says to Dennis, I says, they have a wooden dummy in the kitchen. He goes, no, they don't. I says, they do.
Right.
I said, come down and have a go at this wooden dummy. There's a wooden dummy in the kitchen in the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And we're all saying to Dennis, go on, have a go. And he goes, oh man, I'm a bit rusty, I'm a bit. He knew exactly what he was doing. So Dennis goes up and starts kicking the shit out of his dummy, and all the chefs are going, oh. It was mental. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the back door of the restaurant was open, right, Dennis?
Yeah.
And then you could see a makjong, and I did some too. Were you recording it? Somebody was recording it.
I did. I have the video. I'll send it to you.
Oh, I'm
you
so
gotta
sorry.
You got to send it. Well, I know. Yeah, I mean, none of us sit there and practice on the dummy.
Oh, I just made that stuff up.
Yeah.
Jeez, you made it look good, man.
But I'd still love to see it.
Oh, that's madness. I totally forgot about that. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll put it on the YouTube channel, guys, for everyone to see.
I think you had a couple of too many whiskeys in you that day, boy.
Or maybe horse meat. I don't know.
No, that was Tom.
Oh, Tom McGrath. Aye.
Yeah. He was eating the horse meat steaks.
He was, wasn't he?
Yep.
Oh,
Tom would eat anything.
Yes, he would.
yes.
He would
yes.
eat you. Yeah,
Anything.
Oh,
unbelievable.
man.
Anything with protein, right?
Do you remember, I don't know if you guys, we were in Germany one time in Rottenburg, and there's a restaurant there called the Grünbaum, which is a green tree, and they have a 5-pound schnitzel. Tom ate 2 of them. That included the pomfrits and the spätzle and everything. He ate 2 of those plates and was still ordering food.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a hungry hooer. I had him in Thailand, right? And in Thailand, food is so cheap. Tom was going, mate, this is great, man. I could get all this food for 20 quid. He's ordering all this food, right? And he's wolfing it down. And I says to him, man, I says, come here, you. I says, make sure now that curry that you're bringing out, make it really, really spicy. So Tom was on the last dish, and he's he's got a mouth like a bloody. He's wolfing the food down. Myself and Lack are laughing, and he's like, "Oh man, very spicy."
spicy.
And you want to see him eating? I've never met a young fella to eat as much food. And then he'd say, "Are you finished with that?" And he'd grab it and he'd start eating it. Jesus, I've never met a guy with an appetite like him in my life.
He has a hollow leg.
Oh, he must have a bucket underneath him or something, because it's mental what that lad can eat. I wouldn't like to be married to him, I tell you.
Why not?
Imagine what it cost you for the shopping. It's like having a Rottweiler for a pet. Isn't it? Cost you a fortune to feed him.
Hey.
And
By the way,
yeah.
he's ready to have to be on the podcast the end of the month, last weekend
is
of the
he?
month. Yeah.
Oh.
So we'll try to work that out. Just
Well,
while
Tom
we're all
McGrath.
talking. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, Tom is. I haven't seen Tom in nearly eight or 9 months. He's just busy in the army, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's the
Yeah.
only way you guys can shoot a gun, right? Over there.
Man, I wouldn't say that. No, we don't need permission to shoot a gun in Ireland.
There
We
you
just
go.
go for it. No, we go for the head, but it always ends up in the back of the knee. I don't know why that happens all the time. I don't know. No, I'm only messing. Sorry, if anybody's listening.
Jay. So okay, speaking of eating, Patrick, your son, is he an eater? Your oldest or your youngest?
They're all eaters. Yeah, they like their food.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I-
I remember he mentioned pizza. I had Aiden in the van with me one day coming back from when I had the school on my way home. Ordered pizza and somebody called me on the phone, so I'm talking on the phone. Halfway home, he taps me on the shoulder. He says, "Do you want that last slice?" You had the whole thing. You might as well take that one as well. Yeah, they eat. They're a bit more health conscious than I would have been. They're fussier about what they eat. They eat better.
Yeah.
Brendan, the youngest one that's in the military, he's very. You mentioned the healing and all that. He's very into that, so he watches what he eats. He doesn't drink that much. He says if he does, it's only one night a week. And believes that there's no need for surgery anymore. That exercise will heal everything. So
Oh, man.
so he's fussy about what he eats.
Yeah. I asked because my Aiden, my son, he's 22, and I don't know if he would keep Tom, keep up with him, but I'm making dinner, and he says, "Well, I need to eat something because I'm hungry now." So gets a plate of this and a thing of that and a cup of tea, and and then we have dinner, and I made fried potatoes in grapeseed oil, and it just and we had what the heck, yeah, fried potatoes with other things on the side and this and that. And he finishes the meal and has seconds, and I made a big burrito out of everything, and I sit down and 20 minutes later they're out there, him and his girlfriend out there, potato chips and all this other stuff. I said, we just finished a meal. What do you?
I'm hungry.
He says, well, I have to keep up with the calories I burn.
My son is the same. He's 6'3". He's like a brick shithouse. He's massive, playing rugby, and he'd say, "What's for dinner?" And then you turn around and he's wolfing sandwiches. And I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I just want a little bit of a snack before we go for dinner." And then after dinner, then he's eating more stuff. I'm telling you, you couldn't not fill him. He's 15. He's 15 going on 6. No, hold on. He's 15 going on 16.
Oh wow.
And I've met because he's so tall. He's burning so much energy. He's eating all the time.
Oh, that's exactly what. Yeah, I don't know when it's going to stop, but yeah, 22. It's like, well, he's almost 22. It'll be 22 at the end of the month, but it's like how many meals do you eat? Because they look like meals. They don't look like snacks to me.
Yeah.
Dennis is
Johnny, do you serve food in your pubs?
Thai food, yeah. Thai food.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Did you notice over the last couple of years you made your portion smaller or no?
We've made them a little. Well, we've made the plates smaller, so the portion looks bigger, and kind of reduced it down a little bit. But it's all about there's only so much you can try and buy chicken for and meat for without.
Yeah.
A lot of people go down the route to buy a cheap side of beef, and they'll buy cheaper chickens, and it doesn't taste right. So it's just trying to find that balance, as in trying to sell stuff at the same price point in the area.
No, so the reason I ask is because you're so I would go in to eat, and you get these huge portions that you don't need.
Oh yeah.
Jeremy will probably like we don't need to be eating all that food, but I notice now you get a bit more reasonable size portion when you go in and eat. At least you're not stuffed.
Well, at least you're, as you says, right. It's like they've done this experiment in Ireland. They got two big, massive Irish breakfasts, right? They put two of them on the table, and they got one fella to eat one with a blindfold, and another fella to eat it with no blindfold. And the fella with no blindfold polished the plate and licked it, and the other fella with the blindfold on only ate half it. And he says I'm stuffed. So it's like. It's like in Ireland, you get a full plate of food. You were saying, get that down you, get it down you. And people psychologically think they have to finish everything on the plate. They don't.
Yeah.
And it was crazy to how that experiment worked. Your man couldn't believe they took off his blindfold and he went, fucking hell, I still have 2 sausages, bacon, and a bit of black pudding left on the plate. And he says, I don't feel hungry now. I'm full. So, yeah.
There's a restaurant beside us here, and you go in to eat, and I don't think that they think they're trying to fatten you, not just feed you, they're fattening you, And I notice a lot of restaurants now, the portions are smaller, and I think it's better for us,
No, it is a good thing, because we started doing this thing called the spice bag. It's like chicken, chips, 5 spice, a little bit of veg, special sauce, and then you pour a curry sauce over it. And the portion, like, it's fairly big for 13 quid, but a lot of people can't finish it. So I'm saying to the boys, put a little bit less in it, and at least they're finishing the bag, because otherwise it's waste. And if the portion is a little bit smaller, it means we're making more money. But there's no point, as you say, giving somebody a plate of food and they're not eating it. It's been scraped into the bin. I know they paid for it, but it's ridiculous,
But then they feel like they're wasting money as well. They're like, nah, I'm paying for this food that I'm not eating.
Yeah, it's true. Psychologically, they go, Jesus Christ, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes people try to eat more just because they're for that simple reason.
And then they can't drink.
Oh, good.
Then they can't, Patrick?
I was just saying that the thing is, I think there's a mindset in many parts of America, though, that it's like it's people flip out about, they want everything so big, and it's
crazy.
terrible.
It's
It's
crazy.
terrible for you. But there's a lot of that where the whole for years, and you've seen. It started here, but like 7-Eleven started selling big gulps where you could fill up this massive soda at the
64-ounce,
and then they had super big gulps, ultra big gulps, and people and it would sell like crazy because it's like I'm getting more, and it's like it's the Asian culture has shown for years that eating less is much healthier. But here, people want these massive amounts. And do you guys find that there in Europe that?
Well, in Thailand, where my missus is from, Thai food is really good for you. They're really skinny. Thai people are starting to get fat because all the westernized stuff is coming over. You got all the fast food joints are opening up, and basically in Thailand, a lot of people don't cook; they eat a lot of street food. So the old school people will eat the street food. But the young people, they're going straight for the quick, easy, sugary foods. And you can see them. They're starting to get big. They're starting to fill out. And I says to ladies, and I notice it. They will drive, if ladies up in Chiang Mai, in Phang, they will drive 4 miles to go to a KFC or a McDonald's or a 7-Eleven to get one of those big fucking drinks. Yeah, they're just eating shit food because it's convenient. because they're always on they're always on the move, you know, and that's how it started in America, I suppose, you know. You know, like, but in America as well. Like, I remember going over to my sister's wedding in San Diego, and they brought out a child's portion of lasagna for my son. Now, my son was only fucking 2 years old. It was like Mount Everest in front of him. I said, mate, I said,
Yeah.
he says, yeah, he said, that's a child's portion. He said, my wife couldn't even finish it. You know, so it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's mad.
Well, we have children here developing type 2 diabetes from
Oh,
their diets at extremely young ages. And Dennis, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that we are wired to really make sure that we get salt, fat, and carbohydrates. And so when you get your brain doesn't necessarily distinguish between healthy and unhealthy. So you get like French fries and milkshakes and greasy hamburgers and things like that. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Well, a lot of it too has to do with the fact that there are little sensor cells in your gut lining that tell you when you're full. But with processed food, the problem that they have is like things with high fructose corn syrup, and those other processed sugars. They tell those things, the cilia, the hair on top of those sensors, to lay down and relax.
ah,
So that's why you end up eating more, because you never feel satiated until you start throwing up, and then after that, it's like, oh, I'm still hungry because now I have nothing in my stomach. So, I mean, and it's all, you know, look at people like McDonald's. They research that kind of stuff. We want you to eat this. So, you know, there's a recent research that came out with like McDonald's, especially. One thing that they do is they have an element of aluminum in every single product.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an aluminum powder that they put in everything. That's what keeps their food looking fresh and preserved. And then their cheese is filled with microplastics, which is why the cheese never turns hard. It's always soft and pliable. But the FDA allows what, 5% of that stuff into food. So
crazy.
yeah.
Let's hope Kennedy will do something about that, huh? If
Yeah,
you know.
but it's like over here when we're talking about like this whole EpiPen stuff, like the amount of people that's on the EpiPens in the UK is nuts, because it was 175, it was £80 and then £175. It's relatively cheap, but you could take that for 3 months and you could lose 4 stone, 5 stone.
Wow.
It just
Really?
kills all the cravings, and it kills cravings for cocaine, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever it does, whatever sends to your brain about having the urge to
Right. Yeah.
The desire.
yeah.
That's
I
still
got
it's
yeah,
dangerous.
one friend 8 stone they've lost, but they have to stop because they lose all the fat in their face, and you can never get that back. So I think there's a time where you just do it maybe for 2 or 3 months and then stop, and then get your beach body ready. A lot of people are doing it to get their beach body ready for holidays. But come here, going back to Patrick's thing, like my son as well. Like at his age, I thought he'd be out drinking. They're not into alcohol. They call the Gen Zen crowd. I don't know. Is it the Gen Zing crowd? It's the younger generation. They want to look good. They want to look smart. They want to eat. They want to eat healthy. Like young people's mindsets changing. Like they're not drinking alcohol as much as they used to either. So I'm going in 10 years' time, am I going to be as busy because people don't drink alcohol as much? It's mad. I could just start swinging a little bit, you know.
You see that everywhere. Yes, the bars, the young ones don't. They're into going to the gym. They're into keeping.
Yeah.
They're into eating healthy. They're not into going out drinking. And
No.
I have 4 sons. None of them go to the bar.
Really?
Weird.
And they're Irish.
And you're sure they're Irish?
I'm not even sure they're mine. Brendan, like I said, he will go out one night a week, but then he's, he wears one of these watches that shows his heart rate and
Fitbit.
his energy and all this. If he goes out, he was at a wedding on a Saturday, so they went out drinking Friday, Saturday. It was one of his rugby buddies, and then Sunday they were partying. He said it was a week before his body got back to normal.
Yeah.
After that, and so he doesn't, you know, he'll go out, he'll have a couple of drinks and that's it, you know.
Yeah. I'm 8 weeks off the drink.
Hey, well, proud of you, man.
And not that I was a big drinker, but I even went to a party last night and I'm going, fucking hell, just want to go home. Come on. I want to go home. I was knackered yesterday.
Whim.
What's that?
They're good for you.
I tell you, to own like really good pubs and busy pubs, you're surrounded by alcohol. I was at 4 or 5 massive events over the last 4 weeks. No alcohol. You know, I don't fucking miss it. To be fair,
Well,
I do.
You know where you really notice it, Johnny. If you go to a wedding, you know.
Oh,
I remember when we were young in weddings in Ireland, the whole table would be covered with pint glasses of beer, and everybody was drunk. Now you go to a wedding, nobody's drunk. You know,
no, they're not.
No drink.
No, it's times are changing. You know, I think the whole pub thing is changing, especially in Ireland. The pubs are closing down everywhere because there has to be a reason to go to a pub now. And I said to Jeremy in the last podcast, if you're going to look to spend 100 quid, you want to fucking enjoy that 100 quid, and it's a treat. So people are going to they're looking for experiences. They're not just going to the pub for a pint. Well, if you go to the pub for a pint, you're going with your mate. But if you're bringing the missus out, she wants to be looked after, you know. So people are picking and choosing where they want to go.
Well, the thing is that back in the day, it was a social event. That's where you got to meet people. But now everybody has their phones. Look at we're 3,000 6. I'm 6,000 miles away from Jeremy, and we're sitting having a conversation, looking at each other, you know, and Dennis, you know. So you know, that thing of having to go to the pub to socialize is gone, you know. And you know, and again, it gets back to health, and you know, the younger people are more conscious. Are they going to live longer? Are they going to live better lives? I think so, you know.
100%. Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm. If you can, and keeping the stress down is important as well. But you know, talking about the way the young people are too. I mean, and some of this comes from my family, and how we live and everything. But my son, when he turned 21, his grandmother, who's Mexican, she says, "So you gonna go out drinking? You gonna go out drinking tonight?" He says, "No." You go, "No, Grandma, I don't drink." And she goes, "Yeah, but it's you turned 21." And he goes, "I don't drink." He says, "Yeah, you can have a beer." And he sat there for a minute and a half arguing with his grandmother, who was trying to get him to go drink. He was 21. And he's like, "Why are you trying to convince me to drink?" And her husband was my wife's dad. Her husband was a raging alcoholic. You know, it's like, why would you be trying to encourage your grandson to go down this path? But yeah, he came home bewildered. Johnny, is there someone standing close by that you're introducing to us?
No, I've got Molly. She's making me a cup of tea.
Oh, but I thought
my house is. I've got a friend of mine staying here while she moves into another flat, and she's got a dog, and her son is staying here tonight, and my sister's daughter is staying here tonight. My house is like Waterloo Station today.
Mm-hmm.
It's been mad. Come here. Do you know what we were doing yesterday? We're doing a pre-grading grade with Lack and the students yesterday. So we had Ashley is going for his black belt. He had to do 10 rounds of boxing and 10 rounds of kickboxing. And we had other guys there basically doing recaps. But we had 4 students, right? So I'm on the panel now. It's like the X Factor because I'm a black belt. I'm at the table, you know. So there's me, Lack, and Ben. He's another black belt anyway. And we had 3 guys doing their grade 1 and 2, and they had to do some recap. And that Lack calls out a name and goes, "Can such and such come up here?" And then he started asking me a few questions with the recap, and they looked at Lack and went like, "What are you talking about, Sifu?" And he goes, "Well, you were told you need to do your recap. You need to do a reset on 3 or 4 different items, blah blah blah." And they didn't have a clue what Lack was talking about. So he went away. The next guy come up, same thing. The next guy come up, the same thing. And Lack was going, "Right, Johnny," says, I've had enough of this." So basically, they got the riot at the end of the class, because he says, "Guys, we're here representing me, Johnny, and Ben, 3 black, Sifu and 2 black. We're representing JKD. You guys need to start getting your shit together. You know, this is no fucking joke. You know, we can all have fun and we can all have the crack and we can all do, but you need to take this stuff seriously, because you need to. If you can't get the basics right at the start, you're never going to develop. You know." So and it's just, And it was because they're new to JKD and all that. They were probably thought, sure, look, it's grand. But Lack let them fucking have it yesterday, you know. But it was, you know, I mean, they were like meerkats. They were like, oh my God, I've never seen that side to Lack before. But he just had to put, he just kind of had to put the foot down and go, look, this is serious what we do. You know, we're representing JKD in London. You know, if I take you guys to a seminar and you're shit, first of all, I wouldn't bring you anyway. But if you were shit, it just makes us look bad, you know. But hopefully that little, and I think little G ups like that does make certain changes. People do go, oh, you have to do it. I do it with my staff every now and again. I just sack somebody and that goes, oh Jesus, I better watch myself here. Johnny's on the warpath. But it does make people appreciate what we do, making the time and the effort, you know, and then people coming up and going, oh, I forgot about that, or I didn't know this. And then there's students there that are doing stuff that they should know, that they've been there for years. And it's just like, you know this stuff, and they can't do it. But anyway, we had a long day yesterday, and then we had Ashley he had to do 10 rounds of boxing, and then he had to do 10 3-minute rounds of kickboxing. So we done the 10 rounds one after another, fresh opponent. And fair play to Ashley, he done well. He was flying, you know. He got through the 10 rounds of boxing. I gave him 2 hard rounds, very hard rounds, and then he did a 5-minute break, and then he was back in for the 10 rounds of kickboxing. And unfortunately, he got to round 6, and he fell on his back and he hurt his back, and he got a bit of a nosebleed, but his back was hurting him. So we called it a day, because he's doing his proper grading in 4 weeks' time. But yeah, he done well. You know, it's hard to do all them rounds with fresh opponents. And there's a couple of guys in the class, and they can throw a punch. A couple of new guys as well. They can throw a punch. You know. So he was put up against it yesterday. But I was knackered when I would come home yesterday. Knackered. Still knackered.
I had the privilege of being in Brent's class one day when he had testing. That was an experience and a half. They were challenged physically, mentally. It was that was a test. That was a test. One guy just picked up his bag. He said, "That's it. I'm out of here."
Yeah.
I'm not
Really?
not able for this yet.
Yeah.
Brent said, well, he didn't pass his test.
Well, the thing about it is, like, you know, when I done my black belt grading, I Tom McGrath, had James, I had Lack. They were only 3 black belts at the time. But by Jesus, Lack put constant fucking forward pressure on me. He did not give me 2 minutes. He was on me like a snot, you know. And it's like, you have to fucking you have to earn it. You know, it's not easy to do it, but it's just you get through those rounds, but then you get the black belt, and that's only for holding your trousers up, really, you know. And then you have to start going on, you're doing your instructor's course and all that. But yeah, it's tough, you know. And then you might have guys there that they think they know what they're talking about, and they're level 6 or 7, and it's like, guys, you can't be showing guys how to do stuff, because if you show them something wrong, and if they do their grading, it's not right. It's not right. You know, you need to come to me, Lack, or Ben, or James, or D, for advice. You know, it's all well and good. If you know it, it's fine. But if you don't, you need to come to us, because if you start off on the wrong foot, you know what I mean, it's an awful habit to try and get out of. You know, I feel anyway.
Yeah. What, Patrick? When did you say you saw our buddy Brent? Yeah. When was that?
Did you
Patrick.
freeze?
I think. No,
What was the question?
I said,
No.
when did you see Brent?
Oh, sorry.
Where's the tea?
When I was in America there for a couple of weeks during the summer. I went down. My son is based in North Carolina, so he was back, and I went down to see him, and then I went over to Murphy, and got to see Brent for like 15 minutes. We stood and chatted. Everything, there wasn't a coffee shop open or nothing, so we stood and chatted. It was good to see him. He's doing well. He's busy with work, so it was really good to see him. You know, didn't change one bit. You know, just the usual. You know, hey guy, how you doing?
Yeah. The Southern.
Not getting excited. Yeah, not getting excited. You know, but yeah. So he said, you know, like that very hard to keep people in class. He said, he said he has his usual. Remember the Aaron? He had a couple of guys that trained with him. He still has them guys. He said, but he said as far as getting new guys, they don't want to put in the effort.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And with adults, and I found it with the Taekwondo school, with adults, their life, a lot of them do martial art just to fill in that extra time. And when something goes wrong, then they have to do something with their kids or work or whatever. Well, then the martial art gets dropped. So it was frustrating trying to teach adults because they just couldn't make that commitment. You have a handful that will, but for the most part, it takes very little to put them off that track.
That's right. This is something I was talking to my class about. It's like when the difference in the way people are now is that somebody will say, "Hey, I want to do something with you. Do you have anything going on Wednesday night?" And their brain just goes, "No, all I have is JKD." And that's the way these people will say, "Oh, I have a friend. He wants to go out to eat." Or and usually I'm sitting there thinking, I put myself in the same situation. I'll say, "Well, I have a class. Let's do it at this time, or tomorrow morning, or the day before." But I find a lot of people, it's just like anything somebody asks them. It's kind of like going to the gym, right? Can we go shopping? All I had was the gym. That's all I was going to do. So it's a totally different, it's not an honor for a lot of people. It's not, we had this fierce pride and desire when we were training. And it just, I was there. I do have a few students that are committed and dedicated, and I'm grateful for them, but it's a totally different generation.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Even with us as well. People get married, they've got kids, and it's the younger people now, because we're getting a lot of more younger people because of the whole mindset, because Lack is brilliant with the whole mindset stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the young people are getting a lot out of that. Like you can see them, their fucking ears are perked up when you start bringing the martial arts philosophy into the workplace and the home and relationships and all that. And then the older generation, like myself, I'm lucky because I'm self-employed. I know I can make time to go on a Monday and a Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
But like D is after getting married, so he'll be back in the scene in a few weeks. But we got another guy, Asif. He's a doctor. He's a great guy, but he's just busy and work. Tom is in the army. James. So it's like as you get older, you get busier. Then as Patrick said, you get kids. And kids just take a lot of your time when you're knackered and you're not motivated. But younger people are just like, yeah, I want to get out there and I want to do this and I want to get on Instagram, I want to get on TikTok and blah, 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 and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, they're getting younger for sure. They're getting younger and we're getting older. That's all I know.
That's what they make makeup for.
Slow making the tea here, I tell you. Ollie.
Where the hell is that cup of tea?
And it's like I said, when we got to go and meet you guys, when I first met you guys in Vegas, and then we went to do the Redlands thing, everybody seemed to be very committed at that time, and that commitment I don't think is there anymore.
No.
But with anything, like guys that work in companies, they'll say it's not, if people think nothing of calling in sick, no, I'm going to call in sick today,
yeah.
So
you're an employer.
It's a whole, it's not just martial art, but it's everything,
Yeah, I've because I'm from that older generation, Dennis. I'm from somewhat of an older generation. My wife will say, "How can you never take vacation? How can you never take time off?" It's like I feel I have that different, And again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't. If you have time off, take it. But I mean, I feel guilty to calling in sick if I can still get through the day, and I have to sometimes look after myself better. But yeah, you're right. People just, I've got a guy that's, can I work from home today? And this is the thing, we have a hybrid. So we work from home 2 days a week, which unfortunately makes it a lot easier. Instead of calling in sick, I'll just work from home. Well, then it's hard to tell if they're actually sick. So it's like, I get one particular guy, he's always not feeling too well. Can I just work from home today? And I'm like,
yeah,
maybe you need to see a doctor. This is like the fifth time this month that you've
Hmm.
needed to work from home because you're not, and we only go into work twice a week. You know, we do 10-hour days, but you know, we only drive in twice a week. But yeah, different, different mindset. It's, we were talking about this in previous, we talked with Chris Kent, we talked with Johnny when we were talking and Louis, but, the big thing I really think is that there's so much of everything. Your phone is always there. You've got 8 billion things to watch on your TV
Oh
and
yeah, totally. It's just distraction after distraction after distraction.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And
You
even,
like watch these couples when they go like to dinner
Oh, fucking
Yeah.
right.
and
Yeah.
they're on their phones instead of talking to each other. They're on their phone. I'm like, what the hell?
yeah,
Yeah,
Just like
totally. Yeah.
and they
it's
wake
like,
up with the thing, they go to sleep with the thing. Jeebus.
mhm. It's like what, yeah, and then I think we live for distraction. So then even JKD or your training or martial arts is also a type of distraction for you, but it's not the only one. So, you know, that's why it's great to be when you can get people goal oriented. Like Lack is good at that, and I'm sure Vince and you guys we're good at that too. It's like, but for me, Dennis and I we don't teach as a main living, and I do teach 3 times a week, but it's almost, who's there on Sunday is not going to be the same people who are there on Wednesday, and it's really hard to set a goal for the class. But I sit there and try to help them to set these individual goals and set physical goals for their bodies, and I push them through various things. But um, when I was there, Jacob Tackett called me to go over, and Dennis was in the East Coast. He said, I wanted to let you know, come over and see if you wanted anything else from the garage before I closed it. Of course, he wanted the mahjong.
Hmm.
But I was able to get that picture of you, me, Dennis, you, me, and Tim, and one of the banners that he had up there, and just a few things like sticks, a couple of sticks, and some focus gloves that had been around forever. But it just reminded me of that old feeling I used to get when I'd show up. It's like, wow, I'm here to, train with legends, and we are the lineage of Bruce Lee, not
Oh yeah.
just an actor, but a guy that was
Yeah.
truly spectacular and, hundreds of years ahead of his time, it seemed. And I know that a lot of the people that even train in JKD that even seem to like it have never read anything Bruce Lee wrote. You know, they don't understand what the principles are unless I make sure they understand it. But I mean, I got to Tackett's knowing I didn't know JKD. I was completely off on that, but I understood a lot about what Bruce Lee wanted and the economy of motion and things like that. But yeah, it's there's some great people out there. My son really loves to train. Thank God, he likes to be part of it. He likes to lift weights and he likes to hit the bag and all that. But you find little gems here and there, and then they go to college.
Hmm.
Send me money.
Yeah.
It,
Send
it
me
had
money, Daddy.
Yeah.
it had to be tough, Jeremy, leaving the garage for the last time.
Mm. Yeah,
Mm.
because all the pictures were still up on the wall.
Really.
Those heavy bags. I said before, the red and the
Oh
black.
yeah, the black one, the Musashi. Yeah.
Those were there since I started. So I don't know how long, Dennis, they had been hanging there. But when I started in 1990, those two were hanging there, and they're
Wow.
still good. I have the black one, by the way.
Oh, the Musashi.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have anywhere to hang it, so right currently, so it's in my shed, so it won't get ruined. 'Cause I
Oh,
mean, I
I
do
have a
have.
stand.
Do you? Is it inside? Is it inside your garage?
Daniel has it.
Oh, dang. Okay.
And by the
'Cause
way, he moved near you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he just bought a new one of the new housing complex near you. He just bought a house.
Oh, nice.
So
So
maybe I'll have him run it by your house.
yeah, I do have one. It's easy to knock over, but I do have a heavy bag stand, and it's got a set like a 75 or 85 pounder on it right now.
Yeah, I don't like the stand because it's loud.
Gets you away your feet.
It's
It's the
really
kind you
it's got a long, wide base and everything. No one's gonna knock that thing over.
Oh, really?
Oh, no one, no one.
Oh, wow. So
And the
my only
arms
thing
on
is,
it are like let's see, one side is like 8 feet, the other side's like 4 feet.
So
And it's got 4
physically
of those
impossible.
arms. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. So
Let me
my
ask
only worry is
let me
getting
ask these
rain.
two gentlemen a question.
Yes.
Johnny, I saw a clip of you last week in Cars. What were you doing?
Oh, you sound like a posh paddy. I was in Monaco. I was in Monaco with the brewery, and they brought us over. Molson Coors brought us over because we spend so much money with them to try and spoil you once a year.
Hmm.
So they flew us over, and we arrived at the airport, and they says, "Right, who's getting in the chopper?" I says, "What?" Says, "Who's getting in the helicopters?" And I says, To go where? To go to the hotel from the airport." I says, "Yes." I says, I was never in a helicopter in my life." I says, "I'll
Oh.
hop into that. I'll hop." So we got into these helicopters and flew all over Monte Carlo down into Monaco, and I'm going, "Jesus, this is surreal, you know." And then they put us up in this Hermitage Hotel, one of the nicest hotels in Monaco. But yeah, Monaco, I didn't like it. You know what they say about Monaco? It's a sunny place for shady people.
Really?
Yeah, it's a fucking prison. Like, you know, I mean, people go there because it's a tax haven, but they're all living in this. They're all living in this little bubble, and there's like the amount of money that's there is crazy. But yeah, we drove all these old classic cars. It was like an old Porsche and an old MG and an old Mercedes ML. But we drove through that famous tunnel in Monaco, and you see in the F1. So I had this
Yeah.
car, I had it like the brakes. You nearly have to do like a JKD stop kick to push your foot down to this thing. It's like, but I was in second gear and the foot down in the clutch, and I just was going through this tunnel, and we all had these walkie talkies, and the guy in the lead car was going, "Hey, Mr. John, please don't be doing that to my car." Because we were all driving the shite out of these things, but they were rickety old classic cars. It was unbelievable. But yeah, it was a great experience. Yeah, but I was there on a piss up with a brewery, but I wasn't drinking. Never had one drink. Yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, good crack. It was nice for them to take us away for 2 days, but I wouldn't be in a hurry to go back there. Nah, not my cup of tea.
Hmm.
Jeez.
I would have been fair to go to Bruges or somewhere in Europe or do something, because that cost the brewery. It cost them a fortune. That trip cost a fortune.
Mm.
Like that hotel we were staying in was like $1,000 a night each. We were there for 2 nights. Yeah, we were there for 2 nights. You know, it's like fucking nuts. There was 40 guys there
Oy.
drinking in Michelin star restaurants, and they're drinking the best of wine and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah,
Dang.
I think the money could be spent better elsewhere. Give me the price of the drink cheaper. That's what you do. That's another good angle. You know what I mean? I might go back and say, "Look, what did you spend on me on that trip?" And if they say it probably cost us 10 grand, do us a favor. I won't go next year. Just take it off the invoice price. That'll suit me. That'll suit me. And my brother went, "That's 20 grand." So, you know, maybe that's the way to do it. You know.
There you go.
Okay, we're gonna break it there. Dennis said he had a place to go and people to see. So,
I already saw him. No.
oh, okay, then good. Let's get back. This is a fun and quite a long interview. When you get a couple of Irishmen together, they may or may not tell a few stories and talk for a while. So, we hope you enjoyed that first taste, and there's going to be some much more fun, many more tales, and we get back into a couple of decent conversations about sports nutrition and healing, if I remember correctly, just seconds ago. So, anyways, hope you enjoyed it. See you guys next time.